we start this episode on a sadder note, and we never expect to do episodes like these, and there's a weird, kind of nice, at least serendipitous coincidence to do in this episode, but we thought we'd start out by honoring our friend, Robert Robles, who passed away these past few days, and we miss him. We think it's a very sad situation, and never expected to lose him this soon in life. But Robert was a tremendous storyteller who loved cinema, and helped us produce what I think is some of the most pivotal films in Tower, and amongst other things that he did. He was an incredible writer, director himself, and more than anything, he loved cinema. And that's what this podcast is all about. So we'd like to honor our friend by dedicating this episode to him.
Absolutely.
Robert, wherever you're at, man, I hope you're watching good cinema being made. We value you. We dedicate this episode to you, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you, man.
Welcome back to the Watchtower Film Podcast, e-film review podcast on the Towercast Network by Cinephiles for Cinephiles. We started out on a solemn note, and we hold true to it. We dedicate this episode to our friend Robert Robles, and as you saw in the In Memoriam at the beginning of the episode, it's just something that, again, serendipitously, the film we're going to do today, though already planned for months in advance,
Right.
Was one of his favorites, and probably, arguably, I think his favorite director as well. Him and Austin very much connected over Christopher Nolan, and this is just how life decided to shape things up. Yeah. But with gusto and with joy, we talk about this film. Because it's a tremendous film, but we also talk about it in remembrance of our friends. So I'll open it up that way. We continue to move forward. That's what life indicates us to do. So we're here to talk about a great film in continuation of our previous Oscar winners. So we're basically at our end for this series in a sense.
Well, second to last.
Second to last because Best Picture. But I kind of feel like the Best Picture one's always the bridge since it's from last year.
Gotcha.
So this is kind of like the last category in like a specialty category, which
like
is
individual
editing.
pick.
Yeah,
I got you.
So this is our best editing pick, decided by Mr. Austin Young.
The best editor
We'll talk about that in a second here. We want to do two things. First thing is remind you to please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let people know what we're doing. If you love cinema, which I think you do because you're here, let other people who love cinema know what we're up to. We're just sitting around talking movies.
Yeah, ratings are important. They will really help us out. So please, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please leave a 5-star rating. Or just, we would love any rating. Please go in there and let us know what you think. We put a lot of love into this show, and we hope you enjoy it. Listening to it,
Absolutely.
watching it.
I gotta say something. Your opinions matter.
Europeans matter.
They really
Thank
do.
you.
Europeans.
They make some of the best cinema, including this guy.
They were
which is
stuck
from Europe.
in Europe during the war.
That was the first thing out of the way. Housekeeping. The second thing is I'd like to introduce everybody in the room. Mr. Jean-Eric Castro, offering an acting perspective.
He's the one clapping.
You know what? Christopher Nolan has jumped up to the third spot.
Whoa!
On my favorite directors
Of all time.
Yeah.
Are you wearing green and blue just to honor the film? Because this is like very intentional wardrobe, just like an actor to do.
I wish I did. No, it's actually accidental. But yeah,
It's
how you
just
guys
my
doing?
favorite
color.
Mr. Michael DeLaw offering a cinematography perspective.
You know what I'm going to say? Nolan jumped up to my number 3.
Number 3, what?
In directors, I know.
Is this guy pictures?
No. I'm just saying he's my number 3. Like
You're not too far away,
there's
brother.
Spielberg, Wes Anderson, and now Nolan.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
What about that Marty guy?
Who?
Marty Supreme?
Marty Supreme. Marty
Score
Supreme.
cheese or something?
Yeah, no, I don't have a number 4 yet. I only know 3 directors.
He's only barely Italian. He
Hey,
doesn't understand.
calm down.
Yeah.
Where's the gabagoo?
Mr. Ricky Rodriguez offering a writing director
Hey.
perspective.
Everybody know
Himself back
Rick
there.
Brigatang.
Wu-Tang.
Oh,
What?
while we're doing that, I think I got to adjust the intensity on this guy because I don't think we can see the people in the back.
No, you can.
I blind
No,
from
we're
one
not.
eye.
Mr.
Yes, we can.
Austin
Keep going.
Justin.
T. Young offering and editing him.
Well, I don't see him. Where's he at? Let me see. I think I'm going to see him right about Now I see him. Yeah, there we go. I see him.
You were able to see me before.
Nah, I couldn't, bro.
You weren't. What?
I could.
You get to peel back the curtain as he's adjusting light mid-episode, folks. I hope
Yeah.
you're getting
It
a
looks
kick
the
out of this.
Well, they can't really see.
Leave it to a
can
cinematographer to say he made an adjustment that's going to change the entire film and really just like up the intensity of the light by like
they? Exactly. Nice.
Mr. Austin T. Young offering an editing and producing perspective. And we have an honorary guest in the room, which you can't see, which is Eric Sanchez, our resident tower.
Wait,
horror
I didn't get
expert.
to say my spiel.
All I see is.
I'm
dark.
not there yet. Slow down, sport.
All I
No,
see is
like-
darkness over there, bro.
They got to say something after you introduced them.
Oh, is it like a bit? Rick, you
I
didn't
was
say
just
anything.
gonna. Yeah, he did.
What did he say?
So what's up? I didn't even get to say that.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
What's up? My back is covered in Carlos's milk.
Huh?
Oh, you left the milk out?
That's what
No,
they
he
call
just
it
decided to
nowadays.
splooge it all over my back.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what the young
right.
thing.
That's right. That's your new hobby now, splooging on people.
It's really great.
It's a pretty bad hobby.
I
so-
do apologize. I made myself a coffee. I was shaking the milk and then splooch. That happens a lot. You'd be surprised.
Shout out to our humble film servant, Carlos M. Del Toro, who just learned how to make coffee for the espresso machine.
And how to
on an
splooge his
espresso
friends.
machine.
Which should
This made
be
me look like a
embarrassing.
jackass.
What do you mean?
I know how to press a button on the normal machine, but this is espresso, and it's great.
Yeah,
and you,
and
It
you're
took you
learning,
this
and now
long?
now you're addicted, and you want to get one for home.
I do, thanks to you. So
Yep.
you're to blame
Well,
for me spending more money.
We all need coffee.
Absolutely.
Essential.
We're here to talk about Mr. Austin Young's pick, none other than the great Sir Christopher Nolan. He's a knight.
Good, get it right.
Yes, sir.
He's the Dark Knight. And his wife, Dame Emma Thomas, who's his producing partner.
Emma Stone's his wife.
Yeah, definitely. We're here to talk about 2017's Dunkirk. I know, it was like right there before you just... Dunkirk, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about Dunkirk, which won Best Editing at the Oscars in 2018.
Did it win
2018?
Controversy?
cinematography also?
Compared to what? Let's see. This film was nominated for Best Achievement in Film Editing, Best Achievement in
Yeah.
Music Written for the Motion Pictures, Best Achievement in Sound Editing,
Yeah.
Best Motion Picture of the Year, Best Achievement in Directing, Best Achievement in Cinematography,
Yeah.
Hoyt, Best Achievement in Sound Mixing,
Of course.
before they combined the two, and Best Achievement in Production Design.
Hey, Rick, can you do me a favor and pull up?
And it
what
only won editing. Right?
Hoyt like a toy.
Hoyt,
Rick, can you
Hoyt.
do me a favor and pull up
I
the
can
other
see
editing
why.
nods?
So it only won achievement in editing. The nominations for that year were Dunkirk, Baby Driver, I, Tonya, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I'm a big Baby Driver fan.
I was going to ask you guys for your
But
opinion.
yeah,
Hold on.
this-
Hold
I
on,
agree
before we
with
go
this
any
film
further.
winning.
Yeah.
Who
For
do you
editing.
think should have won? If
Oh
Sound
man,
mixing as well.
No, we're talking about editing, Rick.
for editing.
Oh,
I mean,
you're
I
okay.
remember. God, Shape of Wider. Shape
Wider?
of Wider.
Shape of Wider?
Nah, compared to this
Hoyt
one,
like a
no.
Hoyga.
No.
I think Baby Driver, just because stylistically, like, no. I
too
remember
flashy,
we
man.
had a
Yeah, it's too
conversation about this.
it's-
I remember Austin back when it came out. He says before this film, he used to think that best editing was like Baby Driver. That
Flashy
was
edit.
yeah. It was just like you get those like snappy cuts and all that, and
Right.
then he realized the magic is really on like pacing, and I think that's what this one exemplifies, right?
I think one of the factors of it is pacing, but I think it's the editing you don't see in a lot of cases.
Yes. The fact that we're able to go between three different storylines and jump into each one so
If
smoothly.
we were having a conversation about, say, Best Picture when it comes to these specific nominees, and we'd have a different conversation.
I,
but
Tanya, should have won.
But I think Dunkirk for editing is spot on. Spot on.
Can you, out of curiosity, what was for best cinematography that year?
Yo mama.
Is
Carlos's
this the
mama
cinematography
and
pick?
Caso's mama.
No, I'm just curious for this year because it was so recent.
Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk,
haven't seen it.
Mudbound, and The Shape of Water. And The Shape of Water won, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Blade Runner. Deaky.
Why?
I could see why.
Because of Deaky, man.
Man, you and Deacon can go get a
Because
room.
of Anna,
Deeks.
bro.
You and Deacons can go
Anna
deep
was a
together.
hologram for
And she
5
was
seconds.
gorgeous.
Like,
She could
You
do
look
no
lonely.
wrong.
I can
wasn't
fix it.
she? But cinematography over Shape of Water?
Did you see how tall Anna was?
Fuck no.
Nah, Blade Runner's better.
As for cinematography,
I
Dude,
haven't
it's
seen
4 against 1, bro. Let it go.
Dunkirk, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. Now,
You didn't even show the Blu-ray.
Now
didn't,
major
you're
motion
right.
picture.
Steelbook, Austin's Steelbook with the Moonstone ship on the back. 400,000 men couldn't get home, so home came for them. This is the tagline.
Aw, sounds like a baking show.
What? Home comes for you on a baking show?
Like if you like were in Italy and then like they brought you like
The Italian over here. Get out of here.
I don't know
Pillsbury Farm remembers.
frijoles charros, you know, and just like they brought home.
You're
to
losing
you.
me. You're losing me.
I clocked that
Just
already.
Quick shout out to Austin for putting the rug and making the set look a
Yes,
little nicer.
we had
it's all-
beautiful additions to our set to include the mic stands or arms
I
rather,
know
and the
we got
carpet
arms.
and the clean.
We got the all
So
the,
no
all
more
the cables are
hanging.
nice.
There's
no
so,
more.
there's so much that went into it that you won't be
Yeah.
able to see, like the wire tucking, the
Which is so
reorganization of all of the
clean.
set.
Dude, no,
It's
so
man.
big,
thank
big,
you.
big.
Shout
Awesome.
out to the tuck.
Yeah, it's been since high school, but yeah.
Dunkirk,
Dunkirk.
Dunkirkian. We're here to talk about Dunkirk. So
Austin.
My back
Yeah.
feels creamy.
Whoa, bro, we got out of it.
What's up with Dunkirk, Austin? Why Dunkirk? What are we talking about here?
Don't you dare say Dunkirk.
What was the question?
Why are we talking about Dunkirk?
Because it won for best editing.
Okay, why?
it?
Do you
Why do
agree?
you think it deserved that?
Why do you like this film? If you do,
Because it looks nice. Was there any women in this film?
Listen, yeah, the nurses.
Yes, the nurses.
Legit.
that's a really good point, man. Is that on?
Well, I mean, it was World War II.
Yeah.
No,
but-
I mean, it just wanted
That's
to
one
talk about.
thing I
Okay,
kinda-
well, fuck me then.
My bad. My bad, dude.
No, we're just gonna sit here in silence now.
No, my bad, dude. My bad. I thought we were skipping on my
No, we don't got time for that.
Dunkirk editing.
Dunkirk.
I keep calling it
The
that.
Dirks.
Damn it. Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
No, just the ability to tell three different stories, and not only three different stories, but through three different timelines. Like the mole is 1 week,
Oh,
boat's
yeah,
an
yeah.
hour. The plane was the plane was an hour. The boat's a day.
Yeah.
Like being able to just tell that entire story cohesively and still have it make sense.
Yeah.
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 I think also the fact that like they nicely converge with each other for all them being in these different timelines, right? Like the fact that like we see two of the stories taking place like during the daytime and then cut back and the boat's sinking at night and it all still feels like it's in the same like mood and tone.
And it's not on the nose, it's not trying to be super like, oh, it's like Babel or whatever. Like these three films connect. Cool. It's not trying to be that. It's just trying to like almost like give the realism of like, yeah, all of this stuff happens at the same, like everybody's going through their own journey and it's happening simultaneously.
I got a little confused with Cillian Murphy's character.
Killian Murphy.
What were you confused about? Tell me, baby boy.
His timeline.
What do you mean?
He was on the boat telling people, and then
On the lifeboats.
On the lifeboats, and then he's shot down.
He wasn't shot down.
Or how did they rescue him? Wasn't he on top?
He
of
was
a...
going back to the beach. Like
Yeah.
he tells.
Oh, that wasn't a plane.
No, he was on top of a boat.
Oh, he was in a boat. See,
And they were
little
like,
things that I
let's go to
didn't
the
catch.
beach. And when they went back to the beach, that's why that's where
Yeah, I
he didn't
knew that. I
want to
was
go
kinda
back.
like-
I think and like correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the editing, you see in the previous scene a plane go down and things bobbing in the water, and then we cut to that. And even though it's not like, again, I could see the confusion for the plane, we just see the connection of like thing in the water,
Right.
parallels towards him floating on this like metal island,
But it was
And-
also like I didn't even know whose side was on, because even the guy that did rescue from the airplane, I didn't know if he was like
But
enemy
that's-
with
That's the point.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the kind of the magic. I mean, like whenever they went out to go rescue these people, and they would just see
Just
like,
showing their humanity.
yeah,
Were they spies? Were they? I mean, they were making all sorts of accusations because they were quite frankly on enemy lines.
Right.
So it's like, who in here can we trust? And aside from all of that, like the disorientation of war, right? Like you don't know where you're standing. You don't know who lies where and who. Like that's pretty powerful stuff, I think.
I had to ask Austin, because I was like, who are they together? Are they scared of each other?
No, I think they're in love.
This is really Brokeback Boat.
So what do you rate it, Austin?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
he
my bad,
decides.
Yeah, buddy. In fact, you go first.
I go first rating, or you want to say your rating first?
No, you go first.
He just told you.
I like the How they use sound as a weapon. It is so immersive.
Who did the score? Was it Zimmer?
Yeah, of course. Which
The
a lot of people thought it was a
Hans-
little too much.
Yeah.
But I like that. The acting, I don't really know if I could go much into it. It's just, I think one thing that they did really good in this film is that nobody tried to outdo the other one in acting because it was more about the story. So I really like that aspect. Like, there goes a lot into that. So I'll probably give it a 9.2 to start it off.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
I'm becoming a big fan of Christopher Nolan.
All right.
Of who?
Christopher Nolan.
Rick.
I dug it. I think acting all around was incredible. You can't go wrong with Nolan. I thought the story was a little back and forth. Was the last week we gave it like a 9.2? I think this is a solid. Let's go 8.9. I mean, it's just it's I know it's right off, but you can't go wrong with Nolan. Everything was correct. It was just a little bit occasional, like kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And I think that's the only thing.
Sure.
Visuals were amazing. Acting was perfection. You can't go wrong with anything he did.
8-9.
I would say 8.9. Yeah.
I dig it.
That all?
I don't know what it is on this screening that I felt like I missed, but
I could tell you a couple things.
no. But like I remember that the first time I watched it, I was really, really impressed with just the realism of it all, and I think that's what he captures beautifully. Just the realistic tones and textures, and you know, even a lot of like I know we're talking about editing, but in the camera work, you feel very much like your boots on the ground. And I mean, I know that was a conversation between like who did it better, like Dunkirk or like 1917. That was these oneers, and it's all meant to be the same thing.
Okay, but see, Dunkirk's actually a story.
And I remember the debate being like, who did it better? And though 1917, like they did this whole oneer hide cuts, like tracking and all that kind of stuff. This one, it's funny. It uses the motif of, or not, I guess not motif, but the character of the stowaways that are just trying to like get away from Dunkirk by whatever means possible. But they end up going into the boats that sink. They end up getting into all these situations. They end up joining a group that finds a random boat. And you see all these different perspectives with them there. And then, you know, like all the dangers that come with anywhere they go. There's just no corner they can go on this little beachfront that is safe. And I feel like the first time I watched it, amazing. The second time I watched it, it's good. I don't know if I just feel like, because I had seen it a couple of times after, and I think it holds up visually and it holds up for its editing. I think for the story, maybe I just like saw it enough that I knew what was going to happen next. So I wasn't able to get those same moments of like, oh, we're like the tension. But I mean, I can't knock the film for that because it's just like, I spent a lot of time like really dissecting it. So right now I'm sitting like an 8.3.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
No,
One thing
because we got to move on.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
No, go on.
No. You're saying something was missing on this film, and I kind of saw it too. Kind of felt it. You don't think there was like lack of emotional connection with any character?
But they use that. That's why I think even like the whole character being silent for like more than half of the film.
Right.
He's just meant to be this. You can put yourself in his shoes. Like, what would he do, or what is he seeing? And you know, like.
But you don't know anything about him.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. It'll distract you. It distracts you.
That's what Nolan does beautifully.
Yeah, that it would distract you having a backstory on him because then you're trying to empathize with him as opposed to putting yourself in his shoes. Oh, and I felt a lot of the cinematography, a lot of the like beats in the movie were all to get you to feel like what these people all are feeling in every situation, in the air, on land, in these little rescue boats. Like there's so much going on, and
so you think he chose immersion over?
Yes, I think he wanted to like put people similarly to Saving Private Ryan, right? That like first beachfront scene, just something to throw you in the middle. Say this is what it looks like. This is the horrors of it. This is the mentality. I mean, in the first opening sequence, you see the beach and people waiting, and then a plane comes, shoots a bunch of people down. So now we have new dead people, and everybody just keeps waiting in line, and shows you the bleakness of it all. So I mean, very impressive that they're able to do that. I just felt like I didn't see the punches, but I mean, I can't knock the scale of this thing. I mean,
Right.
when you look at the explosions and all that, Nolan's fantastic for that. But right now I'm sitting at like an 8.3. I think I think it was extremely well done. Maybe I just got to live with it a little more.
You cool with
Carlos?
that, Austin? You cool with
Bingus.
8.3? 8.3?
I'm in a similar vein. Oddly enough, I'm approaching it a different way. I think the first time we screened it, and it sounds like sacrilegious, but we screened it in 35 millimeter at Alamo. Rest in peace.
Damn, you don't have to get all mad about it.
No,
That wasn't me.
sorry, I dinged it.
Did you get sad because Alamo's no more?
Boing. Yeah.
But I think the excitement of seeing it in 35 was great and stuff like that. And when I first screened it, I remember feeling a bit underwhelmed. And I thought it wasn't until I think maybe Oppenheimer that I saw the trajectory where Chris was going. But I think there was this weird kind of middle beat of like everything after Interstellar feeling weird for me for Nolan.
That's a good take.
And this was part of that contribution. I think like that conversation for me was just like I didn't know how to feel about Nolan after Interstellar.
Because he did Tenet.
Right,
and
it was
then
like
even, like,
Dunkirk,
weird.
Tenet, and then we get to like Oppenheimer, and it's like, oh, okay, he was building to something,
Right.
and I think what he was building to ultimately, because I agree wholeheartedly, where I come at it from a different approach is that I was underwhelmed my first screening, and then this screening I got to kind of analyze it a little more, and I'm sitting closer to like an 8.5 because I think the merit's there. There's no question that the merit's there. But I kind of agree with both of your points. I didn't connect with any of the characters, and I didn't know anything about them. And I think that's the point, by the way. I think the point is with war, they're just another number. And that's kind of the point. And I think that's what Nolan was trying to say in a sense. And while celebrating like the overarching aspect of like, hey, land, sea, and air, these people saved the UK. It is really kind of an extraordinary story. Mm-hmm. And Chris has never, I guess, and that's just a preference thing. I think when it comes to films like Interstellar or Oppenheimer, there's a sense of character, nothing but character, and you're following essentially one or two central characters that you could really, really connect with. And Dunkirk doesn't have that. And I think that's why I sit at a lower tier. But
You don't
look,
give him credit for at least trying the opposite?
No, I mean, it's great. And then again, like if there's anybody who can do it, it's Nolan. Like if there's anybody who can approach it and still tell a compelling story. But I think it's that weird thing is that, and I'm going to like get so much flack for this, and I think that's okay. I think war stories have a built-in emotional like resonance. And I think it's kind of cheating. I think the only emotional beats you feel in a war in a war film like this is like, oh, they won, or oh, they won the battle, or oh, they're in danger. And I think that's like a built-in situation for any war film. Whereas if we talk about something like Fury, or we talk about something like Saving Private Ryan, you connect to the fact that this dude, 3 of his brothers died, and now they have to save him, and then ultimately you're connecting with Tom Hanks' character, and like he's a social studies teacher, and he doesn't give it like these guys, and I think that's what, in my opinion, the best war films do is you get to know these guys because you know that they're in danger, and the stakes have to be high for you emotionally that you're going to lose them. And I think this film was more about for king and country, not for man, And I like when a war picture can humanize a handful of characters. That's why I think something like Fury doesn't get enough credit. Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf and these guys, Johnny Bernthal and stuff like. I don't know that it gets the credit it deserves emotionally on how you connect with these characters. And I think what Chris in this situation was trying to do was stick to realism and also stick to the fact that depict how young and inexperienced these kids were.
The kid were, yeah.
And that's cool. It is like you do like have sympathy for them, but do you have empathy? I don't know. What are the stakes? The stake for any war picture is that you want to finish the war and go home.
Yeah, survival.
That's established.
Survival.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
Have you seen Warfare?
I haven't now.
It's kind of the same thing. It's just immersion. You don't know anything
Sure.
about the characters. It's just they're trying to get out. And I think that's a cool, different way to...
It is. Again, I'm not trying to knock it. It's just one of those things where, like, am I connecting with... Like, for instance, if I'm watching American Sniper, war picture. Great war picture.
Yeah, but you're connecting. You
I'm
know, this guy
connecting to
has
Chris
a
Kyle.
family.
Yeah.
He just had a kid.
Yeah.
A fake kid.
Right. I know how he's carrying the kid. But I connect with Bradley Cooper's character. I connect with Chris Kyle. And
see where
by
it
the way,
comes from.
I'm one of the few people who didn't know this was based on a real dude. I didn't know any
When
of
you first
that.
watched it?
When I
Oh,
first
wow.
watched it. When I first watched it.
American Sniper,
It wasn't it wasn't until the end of the film where we see the footage.
How did you
right?
find
But-
out with Conan O'Brien or what?
No,
where
no,
did-
the film. The film tells you at the end. You see the real life footage of
Oh,
his
okay,
funeral
yeah.
and stuff like that. So, like, I didn't even know. I had no emotional connection to the reality of the picture.
Right, but-
I had connection to the character. So, a long way to say that I think I'm at an 8.5 because, again, Nolan can do no wrong in a sense. And he knows how to do scale and he knows how to utilize scale properly. You're going to give Chris Nolan, by the way, at the time, I mean, he was doing extraordinary things. He was getting paid $20 million plus 20% of the gross. And that the last time that had happened was like with King Kong, I think, with Peter Jackson. You know, so
Jack Black.
like he was making his bank, and he took a pay cut up front and said, "I'll get a bigger back end gross just so we can make the picture properly and stuff
20
like that."
million's the pay cut.
No. Like he ended up taking a pay cut from the initial 20
To
to
get-
get a bigger back end so that he'd have a bigger budget for the picture.
Get points
wow.
instead of money.
Stuff like that is cool. And again, the fact that technically how we played with aspect ratios on this thing, shooting on 65 millimeter to project in 70 millimeter. I mean, there was only a handful of guys doing it at the time. PTA was one of them with the master. We were talking about the Hey Boy for Tarantino. Like this was like the revival of 70 millimeter in a sense.
Yeah.
And he was in the middle of it. This is great.
I have a question for the law and cinematography.
Cool.
Damn, everybody's a little edgy today.
I know. We were joking about that. I'm kidding.
No, but now with like CGI, because I know this one had CGI,
Yeah.
it kind of bummed me out. And I don't know if is it cheating to win cinematography? I know
didn't win.
I know
Hold
you
on,
need it
hold
for
on.
this scale.
What's CGI?
Well, I know that they had to do like CGI to make them look longer. I did some research on it.
What?
Party's not real.
To make what look longer?
The war wasn't real.
Like the people, more ships in the background. They had to like,
Like digitally color the people?
yeah, they like even like to add more warships to make them seem.
I mean, I like.
I don't know.
To-
It's just
to
to somebody
me-
that doesn't have a budget. It's kind of like, well, what the fuck? I can't compete.
No, because I think again, that's a great point. CGI adding elements into the foreground and background. How does that affect like your cinematography? Because the basic thing is, or basic answer would be like, oh, well, if you didn't shoot it, then how do you count that as your cinematography? But cinematography
exactly.
is about vision and composition. It's also the translation of story as text to visuals. And I mean,
like that.
that's something where they are working with the director and the cinematographer to develop the visuals. And I talked to Carlos about this recently, like something like fireworks. It's like, oh, do we want to try to go like practically for that? And then how could we do that? And does it take away if you're doing it practically or impractically? And then the thing is that either way, it doesn't matter because we're still deciding composition, meaning how are we going to point the camera that it shows the expanse? I mean, the fact that the camera flies over the beach, and as it's going over the beach, regardless of if there's real people there or not, it shows you just miles of people waiting to like get picked up. And that's impressive. But it also communicates so much in a single shot. And even if they had to add in elements to help emphasize that, that's still their shot. That's still their composition. And also the technique of like, you have to light an environment to make it look like a fire's there. I've seen a lot of like CGI where they'll put lights to make fire look like it's coming from the ground and somebody's staring at like their building burning, similar like we saw with what is it called, Manchester by the Sea, where you're seeing all these lights and everything. And even if they had to just put the lights there's no building on fire, and later on they put that in post and like cover up where the lights were, that does so much. So
CGI is a tool, just
I'm with
like
you.
anything else. Like if you're using it very intentionally and you're using it to fill in gaps that you would otherwise inflate your budget by a ton, or complicate your set. I mean, this thing was already complicated enough. And by the way, like
right.
Christopher Nolan is what filmmakers like Howard Hughes dreamed of. Okay, when you talk about films like Hell's Angels, and when you talk about like the dogfights in the air, and what people were trying to do in the 1930s and 1940s, I mean, Peter Jackson is their dream. Hoyt van Hoytma is their dream of what cinema could become. And I think that if you're filling in gaps digitally, you're using the tool properly. You're not oversaturating.
Well, who dictates that?
I mean, look, the audience ultimately dictates that, but the storyteller gets to dictate how they use it. As an example, when I think about this a lot, I think about how they used CGI, quote unquote, to add more people in the crowd for the Freddie Mercury thing. That's correct use of CGI in my book. But if I'm going to shoot Bad Boys 5 and have the streets of Miami on fire with explosions, do I need it? Or is that just cool? Is that a cool use of CGI or is that an intentional use of CGI? I think that the stigma is that CGI looked bad in the early 2000s and that followed suit. Just like 3D, just like AI, the conversation of AI now, I think if you use it with intention and you don't oversaturate it and you make it about the tool, you make the tool about the story, I think that's proper use of any tool.
Because I think what people really complain about when it comes to CGI is that if you can tell it's there and if it takes you away from the movie magic, then you feel like, oh man, if they did that practically, we'd gain so much more. But a lot of the movies that we love have CGI in them, and you can tell because it's in the credits that there was like a CGI supervisor and all that kind of stuff. But again, they do it with subtle brushstrokes, where they're only doing it to help enhance the movie, the story, but they're not doing it because like, whoa, CGI is cool and let's just see what happens.
Let's put it this way: if they didn't have, because to my knowledge, they had like 50 ships in this film, like practical ships, practical sets, and stuff like that. But if they didn't, you'd probably be on the other end of like, this doesn't look real, and there's not enough ships, there's not enough.
I'm with you on that. It definitely enhances the picture, but it's just, I feel bad for the guy with 10 grand instead of 10 mil.
There's a marriage, there is a marriage, and I mean, I was looking at this thing. I think the channel's called In Camera, and great if you're a filmmaker and you're looking to do practical effects for your film. Check out the channel because they talk to you about how to do all these early on practical effects with things like squibs, things like foreground elements covering parts of the camera lens and all that kind of stuff. And these old techniques that are really well developed. But, I feel like it's going to be a marriage. It's going to be like you'll have to do a lot in camera to make the person, like, let's say on the floor, look all bloody and everything. You have your special effects, you have your makeup, you have the actor performing like the stunts. And the last little bit is that you'll use CGI to add a little bit of fire behind them just to heighten that moment, but not detract from it. Like the parts where they had like a fire going in the ocean and all that kind of stuff, that's still the actors in water. That's still their full performance. The CGI is literally just to help intensify that already heavy moment of people burning at sea. Like, what irony that you're in water, but you're on fire.
I guess where I'm coming from, my bad.
Yeah.
I guess where I'm coming from is that this is why it all started with the whole protest against AI and CGI.
Yeah.
Where like it's just gonna be more and more and more.
You're right. But there's what's more and more. What I think the battle between those two things are people aren't seeing is that what's more and more and more is its capacity, its ability. How you decide to use it is your choice.
Yeah.
Like as an example, right? Like, how do you feel about? And it's like the filmmaker's Bible. When we think of somebody like Francis Ford Coppola doing Apocalypse Now, like, oh, how fucking punk rock!
Exactly.
Like you spend a year in the jungle getting practical effects. But he probably would have saved himself a shitload of money and a shitload of stress
100%
if CGI existed.
100%.
And somebody like Coppola knows how to use CGI properly, right? So, like, my point with that is that it is a tool, and I think filmmakers should lean into this skid of making things happen and making things with intention, and ultimately understanding that if I walk into a warehouse at Paramount and I see that there's an IMAX camera and there's a 35 millimeter and there's VistaVision and there's,
I'm just scared that we're already talking like this, and it's just like, yeah, obviously we don't want it, but it's gonna.
Here's an interesting conversation, and this usually happens with like young filmmakers and cinematographers. There comes a point in time where you ask yourself, like, people get these rigs and they rig up like a cinema lens with a little motor, and then now there's new motors that have autofocus. So now they're like, oh, you can do autofocus with these cine lenses. So now we can like make our movies, but now there's autofocus. We don't got to worry about anything. And the reason that autofocus, it's not like it was a mystery, like, oh, how do we bring it to cinemas or cinema cameras? it's just you start to realize what that does. And what that does is that as you automate things and as you get better on,
I'm with you.
It's a tool that can be used correctly for like, hey, we're going to do a driving shot. We're going to get one take. Let's just make sure that it tracks the thing in motion. Or is it just going to be like the camera has to figure out and you lose all intentionality with your focus?
Let me give an example that I think levels the playing field a little bit. As Dalal mentioned earlier, I've been getting more into like espresso making, and it's great. And you get kind of like sucked into the voodoo of it, right? You get sucked into the voodoo of the process. See, it's like whiskey or cigars or anything that you can curate and like you can really develop a palate, and it's great. It's a cool thing, right? Ultimately, it's a hobby, right? You become a hobbyist in these areas. But because I'm an obsessive freak, I was telling the law, I was like, hey, like Sandra's friend just got a Breville and it looks cool, and these fucking things are nice. Like, what do you think? And I saw one on an auction site. I was like, hey, I kind of want to go for this thing. Like, these things are like $800 machines. Like, if you get them for a couple $100, pretty decent. And then I was like, we were on the shoot or something, so it was busy, and I didn't end up getting the machine. It went for like $400 or $500. So I told the law, I was like, oh man, I didn't get that machine, but I'll probably be on the lookout for another one. He's like, you know what those things are designed to do? He's like, they're designed to do it for you. It takes away the fun in it, in a sense, right? It takes away the fact that you can and you measure it out and you tamper it yourself and you froth the milk and you feel how much froth you want and how much heat is being played. Like it is a sensory thing. And I was like, yeah, that's true. He's like, if you make a small investment in a portafilter, if you make a small investment in a tamper, like in little accessories that enhance the simplest espresso machine. And I think it's very much true in filmmaking. We have been tasked with the observation earlier of like our producers gracefully are, trying to find us resources for a feature that we're getting ready to do. And two of our producers are like, hey, so what camera do you want? And we can go up to the upper echelon of these cameras. And one of them were like, do you guys want to shoot this on film? I mean, they all looked at each other like, do you want to shoot this on film? And then we both realized, no, that's not what this film is calling for. And why go through the headache of shooting on 35 millimeter when A, we're not that experienced in it, and B, we want to tell this story correctly without those kinds of stresses, and an Airy Mini can do the job. And in the Airy Mini will be versatile, and we can get into tighter spaces. We can, you do have to be, despite the fact that you might have all the toys
play in the world,
all the toys in the tool shed or whatever. You have to dictate what the picture needs and what you're going to need as a storyteller, so that you're not on set like Francis Ford Coppola in the jungle after a year of freaking out and doing cocaine and figuring it out. It's like, maybe just...
That's why I'm coming at it as an actor. Like, I feel like I'm going to get cheated eventually.
What do you mean?
Because you're saying it's a tool, so right? Yeah. So we needed 10 more people in the background. Uh-huh. We're already getting there where it's like, we need 20. We might not need the whole
Let me toss this out you. In the 1930s, when did Hell's Angels come out, Rick? Do you know the story?
I know we're going a little long on this. My bad, audience.
Do you know Hell's Angels?
Yeah.
The Howard Hughes picture?
Yeah.
Howard Hughes developed a fleet, right? He got a fleet of planes and he got experienced pilots, and we're going to shoot this and it's going to be great. We're going to go all out. And then he realized they look like fucking models. These planes look like models because there's nothing behind them. There's no depth of field. There's no separation. Right. And he realized that he spent a fortune on a scene that didn't work.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, who's the one that said it? There's no more action stars. Or there's no more movie stars. I just feel like now we're just going to be playing.
I don't know how much the technology is influencing that. I think what's influencing that? You know what's influencing that? Attention spans. That's what's influencing.
No. But we're already seeing it. That's what I'm mentioning in films like this.
There's an interesting, I think parallel conversation with when they were trying to make VR movies. Now, stay with me on this.
Yeah.
The question is, like, in movies, at least the person who came up with the concept of VR movies was like, have you ever been watching a movie and wondering what's going on behind you? Like, so the whole thing was that they wanted to try to make these stories and all that, but super immersive. Like, they're like, if movies are immersing you, we would make it even more immersive by having the world around you and you're just sitting there with the characters going through their motions. And I mean, like Screen XD, right? They do that where they put
Screen X.
They put like
3 screens.
Yeah, panels on the side,
240 degrees.
so that way
Yeah.
you can see things on the side, and they're all like in GameCube quality for some reason.
Yeah.
But
Really?
It's ass, man. It's not properly developed yet. It's a it's a great concept. I love the concept. And I'm not very gimmicky when it comes to these types of screenings, but it's pretty damn cool. I especially like watching like the Avatar films in it, but the side projection is ass, dude. It's bad.
like if
What-
you just stare at it, it's like GameCube graphics, and then it like
Not
cuts
fully
forward.
rendered characters.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
all that to say that like it's you could argue, oh, that's the future, because now you're doing something that cinema in its standards right now can't do, and you're gonna get a whole new kind of immersion and everything.
No, yeah.
You're not going to want to hear this. You know what's killing the movie star? TV. Streaming.
But those are still kind of movie stars. Those
No,
still,
it's not. Absolutely not. It's
Bryan
it's
Cranston for me after Breaking Bad, I was like, yo, this guy's a star. I know, I
TV
didn't say
star.
movie star.
And then when did you see him in a movie like that did well? That like, and he's an incredible actor. I mean, you see Truman,
The Infiltrator, he was pretty cool now. But no, I know what you mean.
But the death of the movie star, I think, is coming from a place of oversaturation in the market. What's glitz and glam when nobody's going to the movie theaters? A, and B, like there's so many people out there that everybody has their moment. Right now, it's like Jacob Elordi and Sydney Sweeney and these TV stars that did good.
No,
like,
I'm just finally realizing and understanding what the process were. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cons, but man, I can see all the
I
all
don't
the
know
pros,
that
but I can see all the
technology is
cons.
contributing to that. I think what's contributing to that is the evolution of our industry. And I think, unfortunately, the pendulum swings, man. I genuinely think the pendulum swings. Right now, this era is going to have its moment. This era of AI and streaming, it's going to have its moment. And then the pendulum is going to swing back around to where we're going to have movie theaters and movie stars. I think it's going to swing back around. Not in a way, not like going back to the past, but it's going to swing back to the pendulum. And I think what's going to take over movie theaters and the movie star quality. There's this great documentary on PBS, by the way, called American Cinema. And it's like an 8-part series you can find on YouTube. It's from the early 2000s, or maybe the 90s. Yeah, 95. This thing covers like the studio system, the movie star, what went out of the movie star, why the movie star went out of fashion in the 1950s, dude. Like this, no, genuinely, watch this documentary. But my docuseries.
Yeah.
My point is that I think the pendulum is going to swing back around for indie cinema. I think indie cinema is going to end up being in movie theaters.
I think what that I was working with Elliot, I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna have to say no CGI, just so we can know.
Oh, the whole like
what went into it.
No AI was used for this film.
As a marketing
Yeah, I'm
thing?
starting to see that could be probably the
cares,
future.
though?
That's indie. I mean that's also the people like that are
I
saying
think a lot of people care.
A lot of people care in either direction. It's like politics, dude. Like some people are going to say that this is making cinema funner and bigger and better. Everybody was ripping, no pun intended, but everybody was ripping to shreds our, what is it called? The Rip, right? This Matt Damon, Ben Affleck thing. And I was totally in support of it because of artist equity and how they're giving back money to the crew members. And this is a great concept. But it didn't. Hey, I've been hearing it's a shit movie.
Every 10 minutes, you know what's going on.
Yeah, because of attention spans.
Yeah.
You have the two biggest movie stars in the world
Holy shit.
not doing anything. Two Academy Award winning writers.
Yeah,
fucking
that also bummed me out. That bummed me out.
Yeah, I think
Go with hunting to that.
I think there's like the politics of like, is the technology making content better, or is the technology making it worse?
or is it making filmmakers lazier?
I don't think it
No,
matters, and
no,
I
no.
think by adding no CGI in a major motion picture,
No,
I don't
for
think
sure.
people are going to give a shit.
I'm with you.
I don't think people are going to give a shit. I think people want to be enthralled. Like right now, the hype is Wuthering Heights. This picture, right? This Emerald Fennell, Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie, enthralled, 50 Shades of Grey type of bullshit thing.
My bad. Before I forget, you don't think you in 20 years are gonna see a film that's so CGI that you're gonna be like,
It's already
We're already
happening.
seeing that.
It's been
There's an
existing.
animated film that's going to come out, I think, later this year, if not next year, that it was all done with CGI, and they had this super tiny crew that made it, and their whole thing is that they want to prove that it can be done.
and what if it has merit and all that? Will you?
I think I genuinely do.
Go
I
them.
think if it influences, this is why I think guys like James Cameron are important. because I think if it influences the story, I think if you're spending $150 million and it's warranted, like a film like Avatar.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Do it, dude. Fucking move it forward.
No,
Move
no, it's because you're going big scale.
If we're talking about guys like John
bad.
Landau, who was an incredible producer who just passed away this last year, who was James Cameron's guy, who was pushing IMAX technology and CG forward, by all means, dude, by all means, because at the end of the day, I think it's the most indie director you can think of right now is Sean Baker,
right,
who did Anora, who we'll talk about next week. Sean Baker has this great thing where he says every generation since I've known of cinema claims that the sky is falling.
Yeah.
Every generation. I've been part of the generation that
But
the sky is falling.
different.
How is it different? It's the same thing. The sky is falling.
We just talked about-
It's
Who
it's
gives a
literally
shit?
another entity that we can't control.
People, this is the problem with filmmakers today. People are getting obsessed with this over taking a good story and telling it.
No, for sure.
They're getting obsessed
But
with
I'm already
it.
seeing 20 years ahead, and it's like
No,
everybody's gonna be like,
we just watched The Artist. We just watched The Artist, and
Yeah.
The Artist is the exact same thing. It's a conversation of, and I mean, what is it called?
Talkies.
It's talkies and that whole era, and then plus, I mean, we've touched on it with other movies, but there was a conversation of like, no, you don't need talkings in film. Like
that's how people thought back
Yeah,
then.
it's like
MGM
that's
and
so
Paramount.
stupid.
MGM and Paramount held out. It was the indie studios, indie at the time, Warner Brothers, fucking.
I'm gonna go there. Talkie, Smellies, whatever that's still you.
Look,
No. But at the time,
I know, I went there. My bad, guys.
The thing is that they're saying that movies, the art form, only needs visuals, and then it needs like the textures and all that.
You sent me something recently. There's a conversation of Epic Games and Unreal Engine wanting to host movie premieres inside Fortnite. That bit's going to become a thing, which is why Disney bought like an $80 million stake into Epic Games.
So watching the movie with your avatar?
Yes.
Yeah, like they'll actually have like virtual theaters that you could like sit in.
That you have to attend. And by the
we're a
way,
simulation.
I
Come on, we're a
attended,
simulation.
I attended what I think was the first beta test of this, which was Tarantino's short film for
How was
Kill
it?
Bill. I mean, it was fun. It was cool. You go like through a red carpet and you go to an actual theater
shit.
and you see the picture in your computer. But it's not going to take away the communal aspect of watching cinema in real time. Also, there's only so much immersion that can happen before you realize that this is the Ready Player One conversation, okay? I love that aspect. I love Ready Player One. It's why I play Fortnite, because I think it's the same fucking thing to an extent.
Yeah.
But I think there's only so much immersion that can happen before you realize that cinema was made to be an escapist experience.
Clip that.
And if you're just going to be playing yourself in the virtual world, doing the same shit you're doing in the real world, well, what's the point? Cinema can't breathe that way. Cinema has to take you and transport you to a different world.
I fucking love that.
So I think as long as people still seek the escapist aspect of things, and as long as there's still storytellers that give a shit, i.e. us, I think we'll be okay in 20 years.
No, that makes
I don't think
sense.
the technology is going to matter. It's just hopefully going to enhance a problem we couldn't fix 20 years prior. Hopefully.
I just hope they don't get rid of the actors.
They won't, dude. No, of course not.
See, the whole thing is that these new tools, when they come out, I mean, I always like telling people about when newspapers came out, something that we look at and we don't really give a shit anymore. But when newspapers came out and the printing press came out, everybody thought that it would be the death of society because they said, no, if you have newspapers and that's how information travels, there's no reason to talk to your neighbor. And at the time, the argument was, what if like your neighbor has a heart attack or the house burns down and you didn't need to check on them because you already know what's going on in the paper. And then you were so distracted by the paper that you weren't going to see them. And they believed that that would be the death of conversation and society and everything. And then as time went on, then something else took over. Then now we have the internet.
The media cycle.
Yeah, and as the internet comes, and then we think, oh, this is going to be the death of us in these simple, like, AOL chat rooms, and then something else comes out. And
If it makes you feel better,
Am I the only one scared?
if it makes you because you're an actor and you have every right to be concerned, but if it makes you feel better, and I forget who it was. I know it was an actress for sure. I don't know if it was Charlize Theron or Margot. Somebody. I know for a fact they're taking steps to protect their likeness right now.
Yeah.
They're already doing that.
Because they're already asking to buy their.
They're already doing that to protect their likeness, to ensure that an actor will always have a place.
Didn't Morgan Freeman already sell his or something like that?
Dude, I think so. There's conversations about this because directors fear the same thing. Why? Because AI are writing scripts. AIs are being screenplays.
I'm saying this because I'm seeing some of the AIs that I can't even tell.
Well, we were having that conversation earlier about how it's getting harder to tell. But I think
because imagine paying $20 million to an actor or just what
no, and
$100 for the subscription.
The thing. Yeah. No, and then I mean,
scary times. But
in every art form,
I feel you.
Every art form, because I mean, I also have friends that are graphic designers. They talk about how one of my friends, he's freelancing right now, and he said that he has to fight a marketing company because they just said, "Hey, we just AI'd this poster. Can you just make it like that with our logo?"
Yeah.
And he has to convince them and tell them, look, the reason that I don't use AI and he says you have to understand it. You have to understand it just so you can have a conversation in the room. But he says, but the reason I'm able to like fight with them is I can say, hey, that thing will generate something that it's based off of a million other different things, but I can give you something that's unique to you. I can give you something that's editable in every little inch and aspect. It's control. Yeah. And at the end of the day, AI actors, you have control of your performance. Directors have control of what they want to see. I heard somebody say AI can tell the same story a different way, but you can create a new story, and that's what's stopping it right now.
To tie a nice little bow on the AI conversation. No, it's great. I think it's something that people want to talk about right now. But to tie a nice little bow on the conversation, two things. One, somebody did a test on an AI platform where they did a commercial. All AI based, all AI created. I think I've seen it, yeah. And they basically said, let's try this in real time as a director. Hey, I need take 2, and I need you to do this. It didn't work. They just either repeated the same fashion, didn't understand the prompt.
Oh, yeah.
It just kept repeating it. You can't get the take. It won't understand emotional context.
There's a commercial director right now.
It's a commercial director.
I'm not going to repeat myself again because I know I sound like a scratch record.
I love this guy.
That's right now.
Well, I know.
But look at this. Like, I mean, look at how real that looks.
It's getting.
No, but when you listen to him, like, I don't know if we can get audio on our channels. I can't hear.
Okay. Yeah. So great. Let's start with some really basic emotions.
Director audition.
Let's start with anger. Okay, you're angry.
See?
Okay, so that felt like
slap 20 years on that,
or some kind of animal. So let's just do human anger. Like you just lost your job and you're angry about it.
You can't do this to me. I need this job. Why are you firing me?
Next.
That's interesting. Yeah, felt a little on the nose and. You know what? Let's just stop doing anger. That can be kind of tough, especially if you don't have any. Experiences or emotions to draw from. So let's just do excited. Yeah. You're excited.
All right, let's see.
Oh, yes. That is amazing.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Just stop improvising. Just act excited.
I'm telling you guys.
No words. Act excited.
Thought nice. Thought no nice. About sunrise.
Okay, yes. Technically, those were not words, but it was also insane. So let's just move on. How about eating a hamburger? In the commercial business, you got to eat a hamburger. You got to do the old bite and smile. Let me see one of those. Actually, that was pretty good. I mean, kind of felt like you were mocking me, but overall, it was pretty good. Can you just do one where overall you're just not being weird?
Okay, I'm just going to stand here and act completely normal. Nothing weird happening here.
Come on, man. What's human about this?
Bro,
look, okay, just to tie the last little bow on the AI conversation for now, because this is an ongoing conversation. Guillermo del Toro was
sometimes
is the big advocate, is going on stage, on Oscar stages, and being like, fuck AI, right? This is what Guillermo del Toro's doing. Guillermo del Toro, it's similar to what you were talking about earlier, is he's saying AI can only tell up till now. Mm-hmm. It's learning human behavior up to this point.
And whatever we know,
But cinema and storytelling is about expanding now. It's about the future. It's about, sometimes you're going to talk about the past or whatever, but in the context of now. Yeah. In the context of connecting with people now. AI will never know how to do that. It'll always follow your lead. AI will always follow humans' lead. It just will. It has to.
No,
it
because
has to.
We're so close to consciousness that's not
no.
What are you talking
Because
about?
if you really look at
Ben
what
Affleck on his personal AI succession fanfic. Ben Affleck, I guess, is one of the guys who's saying, "Yeah, nope, AI is not going to win over."
Yeah, but he says that you kind of give a good explanation for it, which is pretty good.
I also think that and again, I know we keep saying nice little bow on this. Look at somebody like Nolan and everything that he's doing right now. There's still enough artists in all fields
Oppenheimer,
that believe that there is a world where we are always going to be on top. There's never going to be a technology that takes over us. There is going to be like, I mean, I was talking to the guys when I came in the room earlier. I was like, hey, have you guys had to have the conversation with your parents yet on how to tell the difference between a real video and an AI video?
I have.
Because my mom saw a video earlier and she's like, oh, look at this. It's so cute. And it was this dog going up to a child that's crying and then the child hugs it and everybody claps. And I was like, Mom, why does the child have 3 legs?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God. And
But yeah, you've seen the videos of like 2001 to 2005, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The leap.
Yeah.
The leap.
Yeah, but again, I think ultimately, as long as there's
No, but
storytellers,
yeah.
I think ultimately, as long as there's storytellers like Christopher Nolan who are still
Has
as a
intentionality.
base
That is very
level,
true.
they're still fighting to shoot on film. Something that AI could never replace because it's quite literally light shining through a lens to create silver emulsion to create an image. That's something that AI can't replicate. It can replicate some grain. It could replicate something in post.
And those are
but it
beautiful
can't-
things.
yeah.
The fact that you're able to get like really gorgeous like grain structures, you're able to like quickly do coloring. You can do these small little effects when
Yeah.
you have intentionality and you're asking for the assistance from fast computational like processes. Like that's where you find out that AI as a tool is going to keep growing, and as long as you're in the flow, you're going to be able to tell your story more accurately, and you're going to be able to have a better time with it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Dunkirk, ladies and gentlemen. Dunkirk. I know that there's, especially for the war film fanatic, there's a ton of talk about when it comes to just the emotion. The fact that it packed it so tight, an hour or 45 minutes, is duly impressive. But
Hans Zimmer too.
Hans Zimmer score,
that duo is awesome.
that whole thing of like the score continuing through the entire thing in a really emotional resonance thing. And like I think they asked like survivors of Dunkirk that were 90 years old at the screening, like, was this real? Did it feel real? And they were like, yeah, it all felt real, but the score was louder than the actual guns that went off at the war, man. Like, this was just too much. So there's cool little moments like that. But I think Christopher Nolan was onto something I didn't appreciate. Maybe I have to go back and revisit films like Tenet to see what he was up to.
you definitely
I
gotta
also
revisit
think
Tenet.
the Nolan, I mean,
all
for the
do.
very beginning, has been interested in timelines and how everything jumps around but feels cohesive.
He knows how to compress and extend time
Yeah.
like it's none of his
And
business.
I feel like films like Dunkirk, and then right after this, what did he do? He did Tenet, right? Yeah. I feel like those films were definitely like learning pads to figure out how to like find emotional beats
Very positive.
within time. Because then once he goes to Oppenheimer and like
Oppentimer?
yeah,
Oppenheimer?
the timing in the Oppen is just insane in that movie.
It's Oppentime for sure.
Mighty Morphin Oppentime. But like for that one, it's jumping around in his life, a real person hitting those emotional beats, but then knowing how to go back in time or forward in time, and you can maintain the same motion. So I feel like these were testing grounds, probably for techniques and ideas.
Yeah,
and
I can see that on the technical front.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about Dunkirk. Let us know what you think about
Movies.
Christopher Nolan and his trajectory. I mean, we did cover on this very podcast. We have covered Interstellar. We covered Memento not too long ago.
I say he's got the most promising.
I think. Look, listen. It's been a minute since I've been as excited as I have to see the Odyssey. Like the Odyssey is something I read in college.
Yeah, it's such an epic story.
And like God, man, like it's an Odyssean. The word Odyssean comes from the Odyssey for a reason, and it's Homer. Nobody could tackle that. Nobody could ever tackle that cinematically, and they've tried. Christopher Nolan I think is going to do an incredible thing.
Yeah.
So excited for that. We might even take a little road trip to screen it in 70 millimeter because why the hell not? It's an incredible thing.
Before that, can I give my rating for Dunkirk?
No.
No. Moving on. What is your rating for Dunkirk?
From an editor.
Or from the
it's
man
too
who
late.
picked
We
this
got to
film?
wrap it up.
No. Come on, please.
Do you need
Moment's
attention?
gone.
Do you
No,
need
please.
The moment's gone.
It's gone.
Please, Austin.
Find out next week when we cover it.
No, please, Austin.
If you want to find out, join next week.
On Dragon Ball Z.
8-2.
8-2.
What?
Do you feel like you went down after the screening, or do you feel like you went up?
No, it kind of stayed the same.
Oh,
You've always felt that way about the film?
Yeah.
Compared to other
bunch of 8
Nolan
points.
films you like? Or
Yeah.
But is this gonna sit on like a list of films that you would give to like younger editors to say like
Probably.
take notes?
Oh, here's the question, right? Does this push cinema forward?
No.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it does.
In which
Like
way?
I
In
said,
which
I think,
department or which?
Well, I think cinema as a marriage. I think every aspect of this film could point to the fact that for everything from technical to storytelling, I mean, it did well. It did extremely well. So much so that you don't feel it, and that's kind of the point. Like usually in films like this, you feel the scale of the filmmaking. In this film, you're feeling the scale of the story. You're feeling the scale of what was at stake in the time period in the war.
Well, I saw that with Pearl Harbor, so I don't know.
Did you though?
Did quick side question? Do you feel like this is out of all of Nolan's films the best edited, or do you feel which one's the best like edited Nolan?
Oppenheimer.
For
Did
sure.
it win editing that year?
No.
Snubbed?
I don't think it did. We'd have to check, but it's fine.
What do you mean it's fine?
It's a usual thing where I'm never get asked for my rating.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here
Austin-
comes the rating from Austin.
We wa-
Young.
You
Our
said
editor.
8-2 already. What do you mean? He already gave his rating.
Yes, no, we know Dunkirk won for editing.
No, for Oppenheimer.
No, for last year, right? Or 2
Oppenheimer.
years ago.
Austin, we
I
love
recently
you.
watched it. It's still good.
Did it win last year?
Directing, Best Picture,
Razzie
and music.
Award.
Actor
Winner cinematography, winner
Oh,
in
it did win,
editing.
Yep,
Yeah.
It won.
that was the best.
Deservedly
editing.
so.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Next week.
Did you have fun, Austin?
I did. Next week.
You matter to me.
Next week, we cover our former Best Picture winner, quite literally last year's Best
Yeah.
Picture winner. We talk about Sean Baker's Honora on the podcast.
Yep.
Very excited to talk about this film. I think if you joined us for the Oscar conversation, our Oscar-rama, or what are we going to call this? Last
I like
year,
that, the
Oscar-rama.
Oscar-rama.
We talked about this film for 20 minutes, and it won Best Picture and Best Director and all sorts of shit. So,
And no CGI.
and no CGI in the slightest. In fact,
there
it
is.
was an
Fireworks.
indie film. This
Probably.
is one thing I'll harp on when it comes to Sean
Those
Baker.
nipples were
Sean
CGI.
Baker won Best Director at the Oscars for Honora and was offered development deals up to yin yang. He decided to stay independent. He funds his own films essentially. He
Oh my
finds
God, that makes me
financiers.
nervous.
He pays for his own cinema or gets investors that are going to let him keep complete creative control, even if he has to keep his budgets down. That's his mantra is to stay indie. So we'll talk more about that next week. After that, we will have our Oscar-rama. 3.5 hours, what it ends up usually being, of talking 20 minutes per film of the Best Picture nominees for this year, the 96th Academy Awards.
Yep, 96.
And after that, we'll have our live recap of the Oscars. March 15th, we will have our recap March 16th. So join us for that. Let us know what you think of Dunkirk. Let us know what your favorite Christopher Nolan film is. Thanks for tuning into the Watchtower Film Podcast. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.